This is the last part of 3.2 polynomial division, and we are basically going to take what we did on part 3 and do it backwards. So you can see here that we know that the zeros of a polynomial are negative 1, 2, and 3, and we want to find a third degree equation written in standard form. So our first step is going to be to write those as factors. So if you get x equals negative 1 as a 0, that means that x plus 1 was a factor. If you think about that, if you set it equal to 0 and subtract 1 to the other side, you would get a negative 1. All right, and so that means x minus 2 is a factor and x minus 3 is a factor also. So we start with those three factors, and then we are going to multiply the first two together. So just your standard foiling. X squared plus x minus 2x minus 2. All of that simplifies to x squared minus x minus 2. And then we'll drop down this x minus 3 and multiply those two together. So x squared minus x minus 2 times x minus 3. So we distribute all the way through, and then we'll combine like terms to get our final answer. All right, so if we combine those, we will get x cubed. Oops, I think I accidentally wrote a square. This should have been a cube, because x squared times x is x cubed. So x cubed minus 4x squared plus x plus 6. Now it said it wanted an equation, so that means we need to throw an equal sign in with a y. And it is written in standard form. Remember, standard form means that your degrees are decreasing from left to right, with your largest one in the front there. We wrote a third degree polynomial, so third degree equation means that your biggest degree is 3, and then it's in standard form. Okay, so please try number 4, same kind of idea. Start by writing the factors first, and then multiplying it out. When you get done, come back and check and see if you did it correctly. All right, so the factors, if we got 0, we would say x minus 0, which is just x. And then we'd have x minus 2 and x plus 2 for the positive and negative 2. It doesn't matter which order you multiply in. Last time we multiplied the first two together. This time I'm going to multiply these second two together because the fact that they're conjugates, the middle term is going to drop out, and I'm going to be left with x squared minus 4. Then I'm going to distribute the x, so I get x cubed minus 4x, and then to make it an equation, I'm going to add a y equals, and I'll double check the directions. It said it wanted a third degree. I have a third degree, and it's in standard form, written with decreasing exponents. Okay, let's try one more. This time we know that negative 3 and negative square root of 6 are zeros. So when we go to write the factors for this one, the first one's pretty easy, x plus 3. And the second one looks strange, x plus square root of 6. But one thing most people forget about is that if you have one square root as a 0, you're going to have another one. So you'll have its opposite. So x minus square root of 6 is going to be a 0 also. So keep that in mind. Since negative square root of 6 was a 0, positive square root of 6 is also a 0. And that'll happen every time. And then you can go ahead and do your multiplication. Just like last time, I'm going to multiply these second two together first because the middle term is going to end up dropping out. So I would take x times x to get x squared, x times square root of 6, the negative version, x times square root of 6, the positive version, oops, plus, and then square root of 6 times negative square root of 6, which is negative 6. So you can see we have a positive and negative here. Those will equal 0. So I have x squared minus 6, and I'm going to multiply that times x plus 3. So I'm just going to drop the x plus 3 down. and multiply those together. So I end up with x cubed minus 6x plus 3x squared minus 18. I could throw my y equals on to make it an equation, but I already noticed that it's not in standard form. See how the degrees here aren't decreasing? So I'll go ahead and rewrite it. Y equals x cubed plus 3x squared minus 6x minus 18. It's a third degree equation, and it's written in standard form.